on the fate of their relatives. So it is a tough time, and I want to talk to us about our heart posture, because let me tell you, I am in no mood. I am in absolutely no mood to hear nonsense from the people who are responsible for the governance of this nation. But I don't want to go there yet, because we cannot let ourselves off the hook. Alicia Usman said Guyana is not safe for our children. If Guyana is not safe for our children, it is our fault. Because we are the ones that have to change it. And I am tired of telling us that there ain't got nobody coming to save us. I'm tired of telling us that we can't outsource our struggle for a better Guyana. That if we are not willing to fight for ourselves and to fight for what is right, how are we asking other people to fight for us? And our children. Shanda, you talk about the lady with 7 children. 7 children. You understand what that is? It means that she wakes up today and her reality is just so completely different from it was 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago. One little girl lost her mother, her father, her sister, her brother. She is literally alone from a family structure and unit to being alone in this world. And that's what we're dealing with. Y'all share life, because I want people to come in here, because I'm sitting and I'm supposed to be leaving my office, and there's just this weight in my chest, and I can't express enough just how pained I am. But we can't stop at pain. Onisia said we await Omarius Europe, Orwin Europe, and Orin Europe. I saw you yesterday at the Umanayana. So we're here, we're hurting. And I'm spending time on this because, you know, rain don't fall on one man doorstep. Don't fall on one man doorstep. And my heart just goes out to those, to just Guyana. To just Guyana. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the live, at the beginning of this live program, I said that earlier in the day, I gave a statement on how this matter should be approached professionally. We need a full maritime casualty investigation. Right? We have to have a full casualty investigation. For those of you who may know or follow, I am a trained maritime attorney, and so I speak not as one who is speculating. This is what we got to do. So if you want the professional assessment of what has to be done, you could refer to that live earlier. But outside of the professional assessment, Guyana, our spirits and our hearts are wounded, and we got to address why we keep wounding ourselves over and over and over again, and allowing ourselves to be wounded over and over and over again. And we keep falling for the same old stupid excuses. Listen to me. I have no patience with this government. I gave them yesterday. I deliberately said I'm not dealing with politics yesterday. I ain't dealing with blame game, etc. But as the day progressed, and as they decided, oh, they're going to shut out APNU, and they're going to shut out WIN. I mean, I was in there up and down yesterday, you know. I think the people understand that they shouldn't really, if I am quiet, that they should left me to be quiet and not, you know, try to stir up anything with me. That is not to say that they weren't monitoring it, because I'm aware that they were sending people back and forth to see what Amanza was doing and all kinds of foolishness. And let me make something very, very clear. If you all believe that you all are going to victimize the workers of the Transport and Harbors Department that were kind enough to speak to me, to speak to MP from WIN, etc., you got another thing coming. People must not be operating in fear for just being cordial to somebody that is a member of parliament simply because they're not from the government. Guyana, you see, if we don't put a stop to this nonsense, this is going to keep happening over and over again. Over and over again. Imagine workers have to be scared to talk to me because a minister is there looking and got spies looking out to tell them who Amanza talking to, what she doing, what is she up to. Can you imagine in the midst of tragedy, there's Onedge Waldron and them got time to do it, and I'm going to call her name because it was she who gave the order for APNU and so on to be locked out. I'm advised because I had gone out to pick up some stuff when that whole debacle was happening. By the time I got back, it had obviously been concluded. And, you know, I think I commend APNU for not making it more of a spectacle, because you don't want that to be the spectacle of the day. But when people are afraid just to be civil and cordial, and this government believes that that is okay, then something is wrong with us as a nation. And then want to talk about unity and unity and unity. And then they are so miserable. They take my statement yesterday when I said, look, today is not a day for politics. Let me hope and pray and send positive thoughts to the survivors, etc. They take it and they plaster it all over the Chronicle. Bunch of hypocrites. Meanwhile, they're there looking and seeing who says what and who does what. And let me tell you, they're a crew that they know everything. You're on the ground. Because of your expertise, you're making recommendations. Oh, we have that. Oh, we have that. Oh, we have that. Hours pass and all that they have is not obvious. But we're not going to talk about that right now. What I want us to focus on is, Guyana, how we doing? How we doing and what are we doing? Those are the two things that I want us to focus on. How are we doing and what are we doing? And y'all share this live because I ain't gonna talk too much after this. In terms of you know, lives and so on. But we have got to examine the posture that we can take in this matter. Now, listen to me. Irfan Ali unaccounted for all of yesterday. Unaccounted for all of yesterday. Nobody know who he is. It's alleged that he was at the World Cup. I want you to understand the government that we have in this country. This is a tragedy that obviously impacts Region 1 the most. Right? Other people are impacted, but our region is feeling the brunt of it. Do you know that the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs had a cocktail last night? Whilst we had the command center last night, Sarah, Amerindian Affairs Minister, hosting a cocktail at the convention center because they don't have the presence of mind to understand that with this tragedy that could possibly be the worst tragedy in Guyanese history, that everything should, those celebratory things should stop. It should stop. So they put up the photos and I get on there and I said, are you all serious? Oh, 5 minutes later, they took down the post. got 2 showers in there and they're toasting and they're laughing and they're see the champagne glasses and they're making speeches. And we got people who children at the bottom of the ocean. They're people, indigenous people, children. I'm concerned about what's happening with our children. And I'm concerned about the disproportionate impact of this government's mismanagement on our indigenous children. Why is it that our indigenous children are always the ones who are paying the price for the government's incompetence? Look at Madhya. And it's not that I'm not saying that all children are adversely affected or whatever. I'm just making the point of indigenous children, and the people who know my family, they know I am indigenous. And so I see someone is saying that the government is having a press conference right now. The government is coming to tell us how much bodies they discover, who joined the search and rescue, etc. Irfan Ali just gave an address to the nation. And having listened to that address, the government is not coming to tell us anything different. Irfan Ali ought to have gotten to the podium and set the tone for this thing. We're not going to tolerate nonsense. This tragedy is unimaginable. Everybody got to be held to account for it. Because, brother man, wherever you were yesterday, the nation was going through the thoughts and prayers. We were crying, we were mourning, we were grieving. And today, we vex because people want their family members back. We want you to go and get the people to go to the bottom of the ocean and collect with children, with brothers and with sisters. We don't want to hear about care and love and caution. We are tired, Irfan, of you leaving no stone unturned. We are tired of you sparing no effort. We are sick and tired of it now.